Hey, what is up, guys? I am back for my first review for this video series. As I said, it's going to start July 18th, 2015. We are here. It is July 18th, 2015, 6:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I actually did this a little bit later than I wanted to, but I just don't have the time earlier to do so. So let's get right to this review. We're going to review two shows here. First up, we have WWF Smackdown, January 3rd, 2002, the first Smackdown of 2002, obviously. This is from the MCI Center in Washington, D.C., being commentated by Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole. So first off, let's start the show. Kick off the show, we had the WWF World Tag Team Championship match, the Dudley Boyz, with Stacy Keibler versus Spike Dudley and Tazz. You know, this match was all right. I think it was too short for what it was. Stacy Keibler got involved multiple times, which led to a lot of weird botches and stuff by this match. She was trying to distract Spike Dudley. You know, Spike Dudley and Tazz were actually a pretty good team. You know, like I said, this match wasn't that bad. A few botches. Spike Dudley tried doing the Bubba Bulldog, or the Spike, whatever. I forgot what his Bulldog's called, but the Bulldog off the top rope that he usually uses. He missed it, botched it, and Devon let him get picked up by Bubba Ray. Bubba hit him with the Bubba Bomb. 1, 2, 3. Dudley Boyz retained the World Tag Team Championships. 2-star match. Pretty short. Pretty good team match, I guess. It was all right. After that, we had Vince McMahon come out for a quick segment. I should say quick. It was like 20 minutes, but not really. But Vince came out, kept going on about Ric Flair and the Royal Rumble, as this was Royal Rumble build time period. Again, Vince shut all the lights off on the show. Flair wasn't even on the show. He wasn't even there yet. Stone Cold came out. Pretty much got jumped by Bossman and Booker T. Busted open, which kind of led to the end of the night. But essentially, all this was to take out Stone Cold from the show, pretty much. Next match we have is a singles match. Before I talk about this match, we had Jazz come out. Or sorry, she was in a backstage segment with Lillian Garcia, which I thought was really weird. But Lillian Garcia was interviewing her, saying, you know, really good to see you, Jazz. Glad you're in the World Wrestling Federation, so on and so forth. And Jazz is like, you know, what have you done, blah, blah. Pretty much grabs her arm and says, you know, don't ever say that shit to me again. Kind of cool stuff. Jazz is kind of underrated. Not really a huge fan of her, but she's all right. So we go to our match. We have Jazz versus Mighty Molly. This was really just an extended squash match. It was only a couple minutes long. Jazz dominated the whole match. Jazz sets her up for the Jazz finisher. Hits her 1, 2, 3. Jazz wins the match. Like I said, it was kind of whatever kind of match. Jazz wins. Then we go to Stephanie McMahon, which another ongoing gag of the show, I guess you'd say, was Stephanie McMahon trying to get inside the building, but supposedly Ric Flair did not. She wasn't on the list. You know, she kept trying to persuade this guy, you know, come on, let me in. She even said that she'll do him favors. And the guy's like, I'm gay. So pretty funny shit. Pretty funny stuff there on SmackDown. Obviously, Stephanie never got in the arena until later on, which I'll talk about when the time comes for that segment. But now we go to the next match of the night. We have tag team match, Chris Jericho. Oh, sorry. Totally botched that. We have the hardcore title match. The WWF hardcore title match, The Undertaker, who's the current hardcore champion at the time, versus The Big Show. This was actually a pretty good hardcore match. A lot of trash can shots to the head, kendo sticks, chairs were involved as well. Taker took a good chair shot to the head by The Big Show. Pretty fun match. Again, it wasn't very long. That's kind of like the dreaded downfall of this show. The matches are very short. I gave it 2.5 stars. Pretty good. I don't know if I said the rating was for the Divas match, but I gave it a star. But back to this match. I give this match 2.5 stars. It was a pretty good tag match. I mean, a pretty good hardcore match. Wasn't that bad. Again, just very short. Taker retains. Taker retains with a new finisher he had. I think it was called Taking Care of Business or something like that. It was basically just a version of the Triple Crossface, but modified. And he made Big Show tap. Big Show tapped out. Undertaker retains a hardcore belt. Undertaker was a heel, so it was pretty cool to see Undertaker in that state. Next, we go to a backstage segment with Jericho, Christian, Lance Storm, and I believe Test. Jericho is basically calling him out, saying, you know, we're really glad that we're all best friends here. Thanks for coming backstage. He gives them all gifts. He gives Test a T-shirt of Chris Jericho, which he later gives to Torrie Wilson, which sets up a match for later on the show with Tazz and Tajiri, who was her current boyfriend at the time on SmackDown. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So pretty fun stuff, though. Now we go to the match of the night, in my opinion. The tag team match. We have Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle versus Edge and Rob Van Dam. This match, in my opinion, was very cool, very incredible. Again, just a little short to hit 3 stars, but definitely a 2 and 3 4-star match. A lot of back-to-back forth action. Edge hit Jericho with a 6 spear. Angle interrupted the count. Non-stop action. Van Terminator off the chair on Angle at one point in the match. Just fun stuff. Typical Jericho match. Typical RVD match, I guess you could say. But, again, Jericho gets the pin. I believe Jericho gets the pin on Van Dam, I believe. Yeah, I think Van Dam takes the pin. Jericho and Angle win the match for a very good tag team match. Now we go to a non-title match, Tazz versus Tajiri, because Tazz was trying to date Torrie Wilson. Didn't work out too well for him, unfortunately. So there you go there. Just did not work. We have Tazz and Tajiri, pretty much an extended squash match, again like the Divas match. A star and a half, best I can give it. It was all right. Tazz gave Tajiri a pretty sick boot. Knocked the fuck out of Tajiri. 1, 2, 3. Tazz wins. There you go. Been doing a set with Stephanie. She comes out when Ric Flair's out there. Says, you got to bring me back in the fold. Let me help run this company. Let me take my father out. Because as you know, Flair's wrestling McMahon at the Royal Rumble in a few weeks. So they're trying to set that up. Flair says no. Just does some random drop kicks to the ring like he always did in WCW. It was an alright segment. Kind of long. Let's get to the main event of the evening. The WWF Undisputed Heavyweight Title match, number one contender match. The Rock versus Booker T. This match, I give the match 2 stars. It was okay. Very short again. I think it was like 6 minutes maybe. A lot of interference. Vince comes out, tries to cost The Rock the match. Austin comes back in, kind of helps The Rock technically. Rock hits rock bottom on Booker. 1, 2, 3. Rock is the number one contender for the Royal Rumble and for Chris Jericho's heavyweight championship. Again, pretty fun match, but it just never really hit its climax, I don't think. So there you go there. After the match, Rock and Austin got beat up by Bossman and Booker in the show. All right, that will about do it for SmackDown. Now let's get to the next review on this video. And that is Monday Night Raw, the night where Triple H returns. As the other SmackDown did show a video package about this return. To start off Raw, we have a video package. We get to see a video package of Triple H's return, which is tonight at Madison Square Garden, commentary by Jerry the King Lawler and good old Jim Ross. Show starts off with Vince coming out, pretty much mocking Flair, puts on a robe, puts on a wig. Flair comes out, does a blade job, gets beat up, bloodied up. That's your opening segment. It was very long. I feel like it was 20 minutes. The first match tonight, we have Rob Van Dam's debut at Madison Square Garden versus Tazz. This was pretty good, very botchy. RV was really botching this match. He was fucking up on a lot of Van Terminators. He was doing a lot of frog splashes. He wasn't even hitting them right. Just a lot of things that just didn't make sense. RV was just very botchy, it felt like, in 2002. RV hits him up with he takes a Van Terminator with a chair. Tazz puts the chair in. Van terminates him on the chair. 5-star frog splash. 1, 2, 3. RVD wins your opening contest. 2-star match. Pretty good. Again, just nothing extraordinary yet. So that is that. Next we go to there was a lot of sound to Kurt Angle tonight. Kurt Angle was really ripping on Triple H. He actually said at one time that he tore his quad that morning, and he's already back tonight. So pretty funny stuff. I enjoyed the sense of Angle. Angle was funny as hell back at this point. Trish Stratus and Torrie were at WWF New York. Basically, just they set up a wet t-shirt contest for later on the show, which actually main events the show technically. So we'll get to that later. In match number 2, we have Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo. Billy and Chuck versus Scotty, Hotty, and Alberts. This match again was okay. I gave it a 1.5 stars. It wasn't. It's just this. I don't know. This match kind of sucked when you really come down to it. It was like, it was one of the worst matches on the night, but not. I don't think it was. Actually, yeah, this probably was. I'd say this was the worst match of the night. Was the tag match. This tag match. Never really got going. Billy and Chuck won. They were on like a winning streak at the time. They won. There you go. Scotty took the pin after getting the worm. After using the worm, Palumbo hits him. Billy Gunn gets from the Famouser, pins him 1, 2, 3 after Famouser. There you go. Next, we have a Intercontinental Championship match. We have Lance Storm challenging Edge. You know, if you look at this match on paper, this sounds like a fucking classic. This could be a really good match, and it was legit maybe about a minute and a half, maybe, give or take. I give this match a star and 3/4, just for the fact it was Edge. I'm a big Edge mark. I love Edge. Edge hits him with the what's the Edge? I forgot what the finisher was called now. Hits him with his fucking his execution. Sorry, blanking out for a second. Hits him with the execution. Really just rolls him up. 1, 2, 3, beats him. You know, I don't understand why they are making Lance Storm and Test Job out so easily, because these guys were the Un-Americans. It was a pretty big angle at the time, so I'm not really sure they were looking like losers. But I guess whatever. Now we go to the match of the night on this show. Also a tag match. We have Booker T and the Big Bossman versus Steve Austin and The Rock. This match was pretty damn good, in my opinion. I give it 2.5 stars. It wasn't anything classic. It was definitely a pretty fun and entertaining showdown. It was really fun and very interesting seeing Steve Austin and The Rock as a tag team. So that was really cool there. And this match, a lot of weird. Bossman was in the match most of the time. I wasn't really in it. He wasn't really clicking. Austin hit him with a stunner, beats him 1, 2, 3. But then again, there's definitely a match if you want to see. It's definitely not a total waste of time. So there you go. Also, we had another segment with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was talking a lot about how, who cares about Triple H. She's basically along the same lines as what Kurt Angle's been doing on television lately. On this episode, basically trashing the fact that Triple H come back and who cares, Triple H come back, blah, blah, blah. Angle's like, he has a big announcement tonight, and Chris Jericho has a big announcement tonight as well, blah, blah, blah. Chris Jericho says he's the greatest world champion of all time. He's undisputed champion. That's pretty much his announcement. So, then we have match number 5 of the evening. We have the undisputed champion Chris Jericho versus Rikishi. This is a rematch from about 3 weeks ago on Raw when Jericho got the stink face. This match was, for a Jericho match, just wasn't feeling it. Rikishi didn't help. Definitely just a 2-star match. It wasn't a big pile of shit, but it wasn't really far from it as just being a 2-star match. Very short as well. Jericho cheats. He was about to get the stink face. He treats. Moves out of the way. Nick Patrick actually falls in there. Nick Patrick gets the stink face. Jericho hits Rikishi with, I think, the WWF World Title. Pins Rikishi 1, 2, 3. Ref didn't see what's going on. Jericho wins. All right. Now we have the WWF Tag Team titles. We have Hardcore Rules. It's a rematch from this past Thursday SmackDown. The Dudley Boyz versus Tazz and Spike. I like this match. This was definitely almost one of the best matches on the evening. Being rated at 2.25, 2.14 stars. A lot of hardcore action here. Again, a lot of trash cans, kendo sticks, tables, a lot of tables. A couple botches. Devon tried putting Spike through table. It just was a botch. But still some pretty fun stuff. The match ends with Spike putting, I believe, Bubba through the table using his Dudley Bulldog. Pins him 1, 2, 3. And surprisingly, Tazz and Spike win the World Tag Team Championships, which I knew nothing about. I was actually surprised that they won. But however, they did. So, new tag champs. Pretty fun match. There you go. Now we have a quick Undertaker segment. He just basically plugs the fact that he's in the Royal Rumble and told everyone to watch out, told Tripp to watch out, and told him that the fans don't care about him, blah, blah. Next, we have the main event of the evening, if you want to call it, Torrie versus Trish in a wet t-shirt contest. Lawler has like a squirt gun of ice water or some shit. Squirts him. He squirts Torrie. She poses. Whatever. It was a nice thing to look at, I guess, but Jazz comes out right before Trish was going to get her ice water spray on her, takes Trish out. This is obviously just setting up for a Divas match, maybe at the Rumble or maybe on an episode of Raw or whatever. Obviously, Jazz is trying to get a shot for the women's title, so we'll see how that goes from there because I don't remember exactly what happens here. I've not seen the shows in a very long time. So, then we go to the end segment. We go Triple H returning MSG. Holy shit, did this fucking guy get a big pop. This whole place went fucking nuts. He really didn't even talk. I mean, all he said was, like, basically, I'm entering the Royal Rumble, and then Kurt Angle comes out and says he's entering the Royal Rumble. So it was like, okay, they kind of killed that off. There's momentum really quickly. I mean, he just didn't even get to talk really. Angle ruined it. Angle's a heel, so it made sense. They were feuding previously back in the past, I guess, so it made sense. They had a feud in 2000, 2001. So I guess it made sense to a point. But, again, pretty I like the segment. Triple H comeback was cool. Triple H looks a lot more built up after he did his departure in 2001 when he got injured, so he looks a lot more built. But Triple H basically beats down Angle in the show, and Raw's over. So that's my review for the first 2 shows of the year, the January 3rd show, 2002 SmackDown, and the Raw from January 7th, 2002. Hope you enjoyed my first review series, my first video in this series here today and tomorrow. Check back for more, as it will be daily videos for quite some time on this channel. I thank everyone for being a part of this channel and enjoying these reviews. Also, I will update my WordPress page with all my match ratings. If you ever want to check them, go to the website, and you will see them updated again, also on a daily basis. So this is about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Hopefully this didn't go on too long. It probably did, though. But thank you again for being a part of my journey back to the WWF in 2002 and 2003. Peace out, guys. Have a great day.